morning, everyone. It's Doug for Vermont Hoyas, and welcome to another cold winter day in my dingy basement. I can't wait to be able to start filming outside, but we're still quite a long ways away from being able to do that. Welcome to a visit with myself and Hoya species IM-08. This is my favorite new small-leafed Hoya. I'm absolutely in love with it, and I think you will be in love with it too by the time I finish this video. Let's take a closer look. This is another one that might be better off filmed vertically as opposed to horizontally, but we're going to do it this way and make out the best we can. First of all, I got this plant from an Indonesian vendor, a tiny little cutting, like in July of last year. So it hasn't been 8 or 9 months, and it's already turned into this giant, huge plant. For all of you who love the leaves of Hoya serpens but find it too difficult to grow, this could be your ideal replacement plant. The leaves look a lot like serpens, but this thing grows 1,000 times easier. You can see how huge this plant grew in just really a few months from a cutting. This thing is incredible. I have a feeling that it won't be very long and this thing will be spread across the world and in everyone's collection just because of how vigorous the plant is. Let's take a look at the flowers. This plant actually has dozens of peduncles on it, and I was thinking that it was never going to flower until the other day when I finally spotted a couple of buds, and now that it's flowered. They are the cutest little blooms. Look at this. Stick around to the end of this video too. I took a lot of great stills of these. There actually is a pleasing scent that comes from these flowers despite their small size. They're only about a dime in circumference. I'll have a picture of it with a dime shown next to the flowers, and they're about that size. If these things were larger, people would be jumping up and down because they're so extraordinarily beautiful. They are heavy nectar drippers. I had to dry off some of the nectar before I could take photos of them, but just so cute. This plant is a native of Papua New Guinea. I'm not sure about anything else. I don't even know what the IM stands for. So if anyone knows that information, if you could pass that on, it would be great in the comment section, and I'll add it to Vermont Hoyas in the write-up I'm going to do about this plant. I am certain that this plant will probably become a new species sometime in 2023 just because it's so different than pretty much anything else out there. Just outstanding. It's always great to see a plant before it becomes a new species. God, look how much that thing has grown. I had to be very, very creative with my trellising of this plant because it required constant up potting and up trellising. But I think I pulled it off very nicely with rabbit wire fencing. Just great. It's grown in a clear orchid pot. Pure coconut husk, maybe a little bit of perlite thrown in there. I dunk this thing in water about twice a week. It requires a fair amount of water, probably because of the large plant mass. But like I said, this thing is going to be spread all over the country in a very short amount of time. Look at that. Just spectacular. Probably my most spectacular looking small-leafed Hoya that I have in my collection at the moment. So I can't speak highly enough of this plant. It's become one of my favorites, and I'm sure it's going to become one of your favorites once it finds its way into your collection. Well, that's about all I have to say about Hoya species IM-08, and I thank you for taking the time and visiting with myself and this wonderful Hoya. We'll be back really soon with more great Hoyas and Hoya growing tips. Thanks again.